Hi, I'm Bob Chastain, President and CEO at the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, and you're back for another Bob's Blueprints. We wanted to give you a flash video today of a bunch of things that are going on, just so that you could keep up with the progress. So behind me, you'll see the walls going in for the gift shop. There's something that I've been talking about that you can see now, and that is when you walk into the gift shop, because this site is so steep, to make it ADA accessible, you have to go up about 3 feet. And so you can see the distance is different. The height of the floor at the far end is different than the height where the workers are working now. So you can just start to see those variances. The other thing that we've been talking about since the very beginning is that giraffes will have access to their old yard, but they will also have access to what was the historic road. We moved the road into the zoo to make it a more comfortable place for guests, but also to be able to give giraffes more. And you can see they're starting to work on that ramp right now. So over the next month, we'll keep you up to date on that. In August or September, we need to be putting steel up. We've shared that with you. And if we're not putting steel up, that means we've hit some delays. But right now we're on schedule. And so we have to build a road big enough for a large crane to be able to get up to that location. And so that road's going to come right through here. So you'll be very shortly seeing a wall go up that will get you to the height of the floor where you'll be standing when you view giraffes. But that wall is important because that allows us to build the ramp up. The longest piece of steel in this project is 175 feet long. If you do the math and you think about how would you get that around a roundabout, and there's several on the way to the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, that's a problem that Don Johnson and his team are solving right now, and they're going to have to figure that out. And we may be able to show you more of that later. So he's already thinking months ahead about how we're going to solve some of those problems. We wanted to give you a quick update on some animal things too, and so we're going to cut to that and go see a little bit of what's going on in the animal world. People have been asking about what's going to happen with Bahati. Well, right now, he's going to live in the tapir exhibit. It's a little rare because we're also introducing him to tapirs. And so I'm going to let Jason tell you a little bit about that, and we'll show you a little bit about the size comparison between the two doors that we had to make for these two different animals.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. So this is Bahati, our okapi. And for those of you that remember, he was down in the African Rift Valley, and we wanted to make sure, like Bob said, he had a home to go to. So this is a unique setting. And so just this week, he came over here. He likes to be scratched a little bit, but what he's most interested in today is his new neighbor and hopefully his new best friend, Mochi, over there. So he's been really interested in sort of following him around. If any of you guys remember when giraffe calves were born or giraffes would come up and kind of say hi to Bahati, he's always been interested in other animals like that. And so we're seeing some of those same traits with him and Mochi right now. And today what we're doing for the first time is this howdy outside. So literally a small barrier between them where they can interact through that, definitely see each other the whole time and start figuring out what each other is like. So again, we're excited for Bahati to be in this space. When you guys come over here to see what's happening as construction's proceeding, you might see this happening, you might see an okapi outside, you might see a tapir outside, and maybe someday you'll see them together.
One of the things that we needed to do was we had to cut a full-size okapi door in a wall that is probably 75 to 100 years old, and it was 1.5 feet thick. Now that we're giving this guy a chance to live in there, we're gonna have bigger door needs, and we've been preparing for that for about a year. Hey everyone, we told you about the size of the doors that we needed to change. So for years, tigers, lions, tapirs have come out of these doors. We didn't figure out we could get the okapi through them, so that's why we needed to make that big cut that you saw on the other side. And this gives you a great perspective of how thick those walls are and why it took a little bit of time to do that. And then you can see we were on the other side talking about okapi and doing the introduction, but now we're on the tapir side, getting to see Mochi here. With me is Lauren, one of the great keepers we have at the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, making all this happen for you. We're just taking advantage of the time that we're doing this introduction to show you all the things that go on behind the scenes to get a new project ready to go. So thank you for following along, and we'll see you on next Bob's Blueprints.